Okay. Meeting will now come to order. We have an invocation. Nuimat Mo, Mama Goznan Kawab Mishnach Jayak. I'm going to pray. Grandfather God, watch over everyone. Shivan Mishnach Minadokum Mishnach. Have pity on us and think peacefully of us. Emingoyak Minobi Madzuan. We are asking for a good life. Thank you for everything you have created. Jesus. Thank you for giving us your son, Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
And Randy is, there we go. Are you on yet, Randy?
Taking a break from the fire.
He's in a on-site trailer at the fire.
Mark, we love you, brother.
Love you too.
All righty. Did you catch the trailer?
No, I'm sorry. I just now got logged in.
Okay, well, we'll put in a word in the next one with you on it. Just telling everyone that there won't be an appointment on Roy's seat. That is just going to go to the election instead of an appointment because we had so many applicants.
Okay.
And the appointment would have only been for a very short period of time anyway. So if we could have the roll call and introductions, please. Secretary Treasurer Trousdale.
Chairman Barrett.
Shoda.
Vice Chairman Capps.
Shoda.
Secretary Treasurer Trousdale. Shoda. Representative David Barrett.
Shoda.
Representative Wesselhoff.
Shoda.
Representative Kraft.
Shoda.
Representative Smittlecoffer.
Shoda.
Representative Bowden.
Shoda.
Representative Eva Marie Carney.
Shoda.
Representative Whistler.
Shoda.
Representative Bersall.
Shoda.
Representative Lambert.
Shoda.
Representative Payne. Representative Johnson.
Shoda.
Representative Dave Carney.
Shoda.
15 present.
15 present, 0 absent. We have a quorum. Next is the minutes of the previous meeting held on June the 29th of 2020 and June the 30th of 2020, July the 23rd and 24th, 2020, August the 4th and 5th of 2020, and August the 12th and the 17th, 2020. But read those into the record, please, Secretary Treasurer Trousdale.
Special legislative meeting of June 29th, 2020 minutes. Present, Chairman Barrett, Vice Chairman Capps, Secretary Treasurer Trousdale, Representative Barrett, Bersall, Bowden, Eve Marie Carney, Johnson, Kraft, Lambert, Payne, Smittlecoffer, Wesselhoff, and Whistler. Absent was Representative Dave Carney. Guests were John Van Poel, George Wright, Greg Quinlan, and Jamie Mocha. Chairman Barrett called the meeting to order at 10:15 a.m. on June 29, 2020, followed by the invocation. Recessed at 10:20 a.m. to go into an executive session, reconvened at 11:05 a.m. First item of business, minutes from the previous meeting held May 28, 2020. Motion to approve the minutes is read was made by Representative Smittlecoffer, second by Representative Lambert. Motion passed 14 in favor, 1 absent. Second item of business, resolution 20-57-LCOE, a resolution of enrolling 69 applicants into the membership of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation. Motion to approve resolution 20-57-LCOE was made by Representative Whistler, second by Representative Wesselhoff. Motion passed 14 in favor, 1 absent. Third item of business, resolution 20-58-COTW, a resolution approving and adopting the regulations on usage of Citizen Potawatomi Nation's Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act funds. Motion to approve Resolution 20-58-COTW as amended was made by Representative Bersall, second by Representative Whistler. Motion passed 13 in favor, 1 opposed, 1 absent. At this time, Representative Johnson excused himself from the meeting. Fourth item of business, adjournment. There being no further business before the legislature. Motion to adjourn was made by Representative Smiddlecofer, second by Vice Chairman Capps. Motion passed 13 in favor, 2 absent. Meeting was adjourned at 11:45 a.m.
Are there any additions, deletions, corrections, or discussion? Chair would entertain a motion to approve the resolution as read.
So moved.
Motion made by Representative Paul Smiddlecofer. Is there a second? Representative Bersall is second. Roll call, please.
Chairman Barrett,
Koenig,
Vice Chairman Capps,
Koenig.
Secretary Treasurer Trousdale, Koenig, Representative David Barrett,
Koenig.
Representative Wesselhoff,
Koenig.
Representative Kraft,
Koenig.
Representative Smiddlecofer,
Koenig.
Representative Bowden,
Koenig.
Representative Eva Marie Carney,
Koenig.
Representative Whistler,
Koenig.
Representative Bersall,
Koenig.
Representative Lambert,
Koenig.
Representative Payne, Representative Johnson,
Koenig.
Representative Dave Carney,
Koenig.
15 in favor, 0 opposed.
15 in favor, 0 opposed. They're working on Randy's connection there. It is approved. Next is the June the 30th through the July the 6th legislative meeting minutes.
Sir. Minutes of special electronic legislative meeting of June 30th through July 6th. Present, Chairman Barrett, Vice Chairman Capps, Secretary Treasurer Trousdale, Representative David Barrett, John Bersall, Bobby Bowden, Dave Carney, Eve Marie Carney, Mark Johnson, Lisa Kraft, Gene Lambert, Randy Payne, Smiddlecofer, Paul Wesselhoff, and Robert Whistler. None were absent. Chairman Barrett called the meeting to order at 1:17 p.m. on June 30th, 2020. First item of business, Resolution 20-59-COTW, a resolution approving a letter of engagement by and between the Citizen Potawatomi Nation and Sonosky Chambers, Sashay, Endresen, and Perry, LLP, for legal services challenging the gaming agreements recently entered into by the Comanche Nation and the Otoe Missouri tribe with the governor of Oklahoma, J. Kevin Stitt, and authorizing the tribal chairman or his designee to execute the agreement. Motion to approve Resolution 20-59-COTW was made by Representative Payne, seconded by Representative Whistler. Motion passed 14 in favor, 1 abstaining. Second item of business, Resolution 20-60-COTW, a resolution authorizing the Citizen Potawatomi Nation's proposed application for funding through the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development under the Indian Community Development Block Grant, Coronavirus Aid Relief and Economic Security Act program. Motion to approve Resolution 20-60-COTW was made by Representative Lambert, seconded by Representative Johnson. Motion passed with 15 in favor, 0 opposed. Third item of the business, adjournment. There being no further business for the legislature. Motion to adjourn was made by Representative Bersall, seconded by Representative Smiddlecofer. Motion passed 15 in favor, 0 opposed. Meeting adjourned at 6:45 p.m. on July 6, 2020.
Are there any additions, deletions, corrections, or discussion? Chair would entertain a motion to approve the minutes as read. Motion made by Representative Johnson, seconded by Representative Payne. Roll call, please.
Chairman Barrett,
Koenig,
Vice Chairman Capps, Secretary Treasurer Trousdale, Koenig, Representative David Barrett,
Koenig.
Representative Wesselhoff,
Koenig.
Representative Kraft,
Koenig.
Representative Smiddlecofer,
Koenig.
Representative Bowden,
Koenig.
Representative Eva Marie Carney,
Koenig.
Representative Whistler,
Koenig.
Representative Bersall,
Koenig. Koenig.
Representative Lambert,
Koenig.
Representative Payne,
Koenig.
Representative Johnson,
Conagay.
Representative Dave Carney.
Conagay.
15 in favor, 0 opposed.
15 in favor, 0 opposed. It is approved. Next is the July the 23rd through the July the 24th of 2020 meetings, special electronic legislative meeting minutes. You could read that into the record, please.
Minutes of the special electronic legislative meeting of July 23rd through July 24th, 2020. Present, Chairman Barrett, Vice Chairman Cap, Secretary Treasurer Trousdale, Representative David Barrett, Bersall, Bowden, Dave Carney, Eva Marie Carney, Johnson, Kraft, Lambert, Payne, Schmidlkoffer, Wesselhoff, and Whistler. None were absent. Chairman Barrett called the meeting to order at 10:17 a.m. on July 23rd, 2020. First item of business, Resolution 21-01-LCOE, a resolution enrolling 46 applicants into the membership of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation. Motion to approve Resolution 21-01-LCOE was made by Representative Bowden, second by Representative Johnson. Motion passed 15 in favor, 0 opposed. Second item of business, adjournment. There being no further business before the legislature. Motion to adjourn was made by Representative Dave Carney, second by Representative Barrett. Motion passed 15 in favor, 0 opposed. Meeting adjourned 3:13 p.m. on July 24th, 2020.
Any additions, deletions, corrections, or discussion? Chair would entertain a motion to approve the minutes as read. Motion made by Representative Bersall. Is there a second? By Representative Lambert. Roll call, please.
Chairman Barrett,
Conagay.
Vice Chairman Capps,
Conagay.
Secretary Treasurer Trousdale, Conagay, Representative David Barrett,
Conagay.
Representative Wesselhoff,
Conagay.
Representative Kraft,
Conagay.
Representative Schmidlkoffer,
Conagay.
Representative Bowden,
Conagay.
Representative Eva Marie Carney,
Conagay.
Representative Whistler,
Conagay.
Representative Bersall,
Conagay.
Representative Lambert,
Conagay.
Representative Payne,
Conagay.
Representative Johnson,
Conagay.
Representative Dave Carney.
Conagay.
15 in favor, 0 opposed.
15 in favor, 0 opposed. They are approved. Next is the special electronic legislative meeting of August the 4th through the 5th of 2020. If you could read that into the record, please.
Minutes of special electronic legislative meeting, August 4th through 5th, 2020. Present, Chairman Barrett, Vice Chairman Capps, Secretary Treasurer Trousdale, Representatives David Barrett, Bersall, Bowden, Dave Carney, Eva Marie Carney, Johnson, Kraft, Lambert, Payne, Schmidlkoffer, Wesselhoff, and Whistler. None were absent. Chairman Barrett called the meeting to order at 1:32 p.m. on August 4th, 2020. First item of business, Resolution 21-02-LCOE, a resolution enrolling 46 applicants into the membership of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation. Motion to approve Resolution 21-02-LCOE was made by Secretary Treasurer Trousdale, second by Representative Lambert. Motion passed 15 in favor, 0 opposed. Second item of business, Resolution 21-03-TC&A, a resolution approving Citizen Potawatomi Nation's application for funding under the Bureau of Indian Affairs Office of Indian Energy and Economic Development's Living Languages Grant Program. Motion to approve Resolution 21-03-TC&A was made by Secretary Treasurer Trousdale, seconded by Representative Lambert. Motion passed 15 in favor, 0 opposed. Third item of business, adjournment. There being no further business for the legislature. Motion to adjourn was made by Representative Schmidlkoffer, seconded by Representative Barrett. Motion passed 15 in favor, 0 opposed. Meeting adjourned 7:43 p.m. on August 5th, 2020.
Are there any additions, deletions, corrections, or discussion? Chair would entertain a motion to approve the minutes as read. Motion made by Representative Dave Carney.
I'll second.
Seconded by Representative Bobby Bowden. Roll call, please.
Chairman Barrett,
Conagay.
Vice Chairman Capps,
Conagay.
Secretary Treasurer Trousdale, Conagay, Representative Dave Barrett,
Conagay.
Representative Wesselhoff,
Conagay.
Representative Kraft,
Conagay.
Representative Schmidlkoffer,
Conagay.
Representative Bowden,
Conagay.
Representative Eva Marie Carney,
Conagay.
Representative Whistler,
Conagay.
Representative Bersall,
Conagay.
Representative Lambert,
Honegay.
Representative Payne,
Donaghy.
Representative Johnson,
Donaghy.
Representative Dave Carney,
Donaghy.
15 in favor, 0 opposed.
15 in favor, 0 opposed. The minutes are approved. Next is the special electronic legislative meeting of August the 12th through the 17th of 2020. If you read that into the record, please, Secretary Treasurer Trousdale.
Minutes of the special electronic legislative meeting, August 12th through 17th, 2020. Present, Chairman Barrett, Vice Chairman Cap, Secretary Treasurer Trousdale, Representatives David Barrett, Bersall, Bowden, Dave Carney, Eve Marie Carney, Kraft, Lambert, Payne, Schmidelkoffer, Whistler. Absent were Representatives Johnson and Wesselhoff. Chairman Barrett called the meeting to order at 1:40 p.m. on August 12th, 2020. First item of business, Resolution 21-04-LCOE, a resolution enrolling 93 applicants into the membership of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation. Motion to approve Resolution 21-04-LCOE was made by Representative Bowden, second by Representative Bersall. Motion passed 13 in favor, 2 absent. Second item of business, Resolution 21-05-LCOE, a resolution for the conditional relinquishment of Erica Nicole Loscom. Motion to approve Resolution 21-05-LCOE was made by Representative Bowden, second by Representative Bersall. Motion passed 13 in favor, 2 absent. Third item of business, adjournment. There being no further business for the legislature. Motion to adjourn was made by Representative Barrett, second by Representative Payne. Motion passed 13 in favor, 2 absent. Meeting adjourned 2:01 p.m. on August 17th, 2020.
Are there any additions, deletions, corrections, or discussion? Chair would entertain a motion to approve the minutes as read. Motion made by Vice Chairman Linda Capps, seconded by Chairman John Barrett. Roll call, please.
Chairman Barrett,
Donaghy.
Vice Chairman Capps,
Honegay.
Secretary Treasurer Trousdale, Donaghy, Representative David Barrett,
Donaghy.
Representative Wesselhoff,
Honegay.
Representative Kraft,
Honegay.
Representative Schmidelkoffer,
Donaghy.
Representative Bowden,
Honegay.
Representative Eva Marie Carney,
Honegay.
Representative Whistler,
Donaghy.
Representative Bersall,
Donaghy.
Representative Lambert,
Honegay.
Representative Payne. We lost Ray.
Donaghy.
Okay. Representative Johnson. Representative Dave Carney.
Donaghy.
Randy back here. Representative Payne.
Donaghy.
15 in favor, 0 opposed.
15 in favor, 0 opposed. The minutes are approved. Next is Resolution 2106, RNG. Could read that into the record, please, Secretary Treasurer Trousdale.
Resolution 21-06-RNG, a resolution approving the rescheduling of the quarterly meeting of the legislature from Thursday, August 27th to Tuesday, September 15th, 2020. Whereas the Citizen Potawatomi Nation is a federally recognized tribe of American Indians with constitutional authority under the Act of June 18, 1934, and the Oklahoma Indian Welfare Act of June 26, 1936, and whereas the Citizen Potawatomi Nation has sovereign powers that are inherent in tribal tradition, derived from a history of organized self-government since time immemorial, and recognized by treaties with the United States and in the Constitution of the United States. And whereas Article 4, Section 3 of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation Constitution provides for a separation of powers of tribal government by the reservation and delegation of specific powers to other entities of the tribal government, and except for these specific limitation, all other general powers of government are embodied in the legislature's authority to enact legislation, transact business, and otherwise speak and act on behalf of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation in all matters on which the nation is empowered to act now or in the future. And whereas Article 14, Section 1 of the Constitution of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation states that the regular meetings of the legislature shall be held the last Thursday in February, May, August, and November unless otherwise provided by resolution. And whereas in order to allow sufficient time to review and analyze proposed budgets for fiscal year 2021, it is necessary to reschedule the summer quarterly meeting of the tribal legislature. Now therefore be it resolved by the legislature of the Assistant Potawatomi Nation that a resolution rescheduling the summer quarterly meeting of the legislature from Thursday, August 27th, 2020 to Tuesday, September 15th, 2020 is hereby approved.
Are there any additions, deletions, corrections, or discussion? Or time travel back to the 15th? Seeing none, I guess the motion dies for lack of support.
You never called for a motion.
Could I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, please say roll call.
Chairman Barrett,
Honegay.
Vice Chairman Capps,
Honegay.
Secretary Treasurer Trousdale Konigay, Representative David Barrett,
Honegay.
Representative Wesselhoff,
Honegay.
Representative Kraft,
Honegay.
Representative Smiddlehofer,
Honegay.
Representative Bowden,
Honegay.
Representative Eva Marie Carney,
Honegay.
Representative Wessler,
Honegay.
Representative Bersall,
Honegay.
Representative Lambert,
Honegay.
Representative Payne,
Sonegay.
Representative Johnson, Representative Dave Carney,
Honegay.
15 in favor, 0 opposed.
10 in favor, 0 opposed. It is approved. Next is Resolution 2107 RNG. If you could read that into the record, please, Secretary Treasurer Trousdale.
Resolution 21-07-RNG, a resolution confirming the appointment of the members of the Election Committee and designation of Gary Bourbonnais as chairman of the committee. First three whereas are the same as read in the previous resolution. The fourth whereas, Chapter 4, Section 1, Article 107 of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation Codes, aka Citizen Potawatomi Nation Election Ordinance, states that subject to confirmation of the legislature, the chairman of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation shall appoint members to the election committee and designate the chairman of the election committee. And whereas pursuant to Executive Order 21-01, Tribal Chairman John Barrett has appointed the following individuals to serve as the election committee of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation for the year 2021. Gary Bourbonnais, Chairman, David Bourbonnais, Carrie Kiefer, Jenny Affentranger, Julie Floyd. Now therefore be it resolved by the legislature of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation that a resolution confirming the appointment of the members of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation Election Committee and designation of Gary Bourbonnais as the election committee chairman is hereby approved.
Are there any additions, deletions, corrections, or discussion? Chair would entertain a motion to approve the resolution as read. Motion made by Representative Paul Wesselhoff, seconded by Representative Jean Lambert. Roll call, please.
Chairman Barrett,
Honegay.
Vice Chairman Capps,
Honegay.
Secretary Treasurer Trousdale Konigay, Representative David Barrett,
Honegay.
Representative Wesselhoff,
Honegay.
Representative Kraft,
Honegay.
Representative Smiddlehofer,
Honegay.
Representative Bowden,
Honegay.
Representative Eva Marie Carney,
Honegay.
Representative Wessler,
Honegay.
Representative Bersall,
Honegay.
Representative Lambert,
Honegay.
Representative Payne,
Sonegay.
Representative Johnson, Representative Dave Carney,
Honegay.
15 in favor, 0 opposed.
15 in favor, 0 opposed. It is approved. Next is Resolution 2108 RNG. You can read that into the record, please.
Resolution 21-08-RNG, a resolution appointing delegates and alternate delegates to the National Congress of American Indians annual session and authorizing payment of NCAI membership dues. First three whereas are the same as read in the previous resolution. The fourth whereas, the Citizen Potawatomi Nation is a member of the Indian government in good standing of the National Congress of American Indians and meets all requirements for tribal membership pursuant to Article 2, Section 2A of the Constitution of the National Congress of American Indians. And whereas based on the tribal citizenry, the nation shall have 180 votes according to Article 2, Section 6C of the NCAI Constitution and bylaws. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the legislature of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation that pursuant to Article 3, Section 2 of the NCAI Constitution, the following persons are hereby designated as delegates and alternate delegates and instructed to become individual members in good standing in NCAI in order to fulfill their responsibilities as official delegates to the National Congress of American Indians annual session, mid-year session, and executive council session for a term of 1 year. Delegate Tribal Chairman John A. Barrett, alternate Linda Capps, Vice Chairman, alternate Dwayne Trousdale, Secretary Treasurer. Now therefore be it further resolved by the legislature of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation that a resolution authorizing John A. Barrett to take necessary action to continue the nation's membership in the National Congress of American Indians and to remit the requisite membership dues in accordance with NCAI bylaws, Article 3, Section 3B is hereby approved. Now therefore be it further resolved that by act of this resolution and consistent with the separation of powers defined in the Constitution, an appropriation of $6,500 from the general account or other applicable accounts for the implementation, negotiation, operation, enforcement, procurement, settlement, and or completion of this contract, compact, regulation, or agreement by the tribal chairman or his designate is hereby authorized.
Any discussion or alternatives here?
I have a question.
Yes.
When is the date of this meeting? The one that I attended, there are a lot of people in attendance. Are we sure they're going to have this?
No.
Right now, they're planning a virtual.
Right now it's virtual. Any other questions?
Virtual, why do we, is that just membership? I thought membership wasn't that expensive.
No, that's what the membership costs. It's based on the tribal population. It's been about that high every year.
So where did the money come for travel and place to stay then, if it's not included in this?
In previous resolutions, it was probably included in the resolution. But since this is virtual, there isn't one.
The travel line in the administration budget.
Yeah, an executive.
Plus, there's a administration travel budget is where it came from. Any other questions? David?
No, sir.
Okay. Any other discussion? Chair would entertain a motion to approve the resolution as read. Motion made by Representative Paul Schmidelkoffer. Is there a second? Representative John Bursaw. Roll call, please.
Chairman Barrett.
Hoonigan.
Vice Chairman Capps.
Honegay.
Secretary Treasurer Trousdale. Konigay. Representative David Barrett.
Conagay.
Representative Westphal.
Quinnigan.
Representative Kraft.
Honegay.
Representative Schmidelkoffer.
Hoonigan.
Representative Bowden.
Honegay.
Representative Eva Marie Carney.
Honegay.
Representative Whistler.
Honegay.
Representative Bursall.
Honegay.
Representative Lambert.
Honegay.
Representative Payne.
Honegay.
Representative Johnson.
He said he couldn't.
Representative Dave Carney.
Honegay.
15 in favor, 0 opposed.
15 in favor, 0 opposed. It is approved. Next is Resolution 2109 ED and C. You can read that into the record, please.
Resolution 21-09-ED and C, a resolution approving membership into the National Indian Gaming Association, NIGA, for the Citizen Potawatomi Nation and authorizing payment of membership dues for fiscal year 2021. First three whereas are the same as read in the previous resolution. The fourth whereas. The National Indian Gaming Association is a voluntary association of tribal gaming entities representing federally recognized tribal governments involved in gaming enterprises in Indian country, whose purpose is to promote a cooperative relationship among the tribes and their representatives. And whereas NIGA also promotes regulatory standards, methods of operation, educational seminars, and exchange of information on and ideas for the mutual benefit of all members and acts as a gaming regulatory advisory group. And whereas as a member of NIGA, the Citizen Potawatomi Nation will receive all publication, meeting notices, and action alerts and discounted registration fees on all meetings and seminars. Now therefore be it resolved by the legislature of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation that a resolution approving membership in the National Indian Gaming Association and authorizing payment of membership dues is hereby approved. Now therefore be it further resolved that by act of this resolution and consistent with the separation of powers defined in the Constitution, an appropriation of $7,500 from Fire Lake Entertainment Center and $17,500 from the Grand Casino Hotel and Resort account or other applicable accounts for the implementation, negotiation, operation, enforcement, procurement, settlement, and/or completion of this contract, compact, regulation, or agreement by the tribal chairman or his designate is hereby authorized.
Are there any additions, corrections, or discussion? Chair would entertain a motion to approve the resolution as read. Motion made by Representative Dave Barrett. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Representative Mark Johnson. Roll call, please.
Chairman Barrett.
Honegay.
Plus
Vice
one
Chairman
eight one
Katz.
787 850
Secretary Treasurer Trousdale. Konigay. Representative David Barrett.
Konigay.
Representative Wesselhoff.
Konigay.
Representative Kraft.
Okay.
Representative Spilkoffer.
Honegay.
Representative Bowden.
Honegay.
Representative Eva Marie Carney.
Honegay.
Representative Whistler.
Honegay.
Representative Bersall.
Honegay.
Representative Lambert.
Honegay.
Representative Payne.
Honegay.
Representative Johnson. Representative Dave Carney.
Honegay.
15 in favor, 0 opposed.
15 in favor, 0 opposed. It is approved. Next is Resolution 2111 NR. You could read.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. 10.
Yeah, did you not have that one? Trust.
2110 NR. You can read that into the record, please.
Resolution 21-10-NR, a resolution approving a fee to trust acquisition application to the Bureau of Indian Affairs and request for trust acquisition on the non-gaming on-reservation Church of God property. First three whereas are the same as read in the previous resolution. The fourth whereas, the Citizen Potawatomi Nation is making application to the Southern Plains Regional Office of the Bureau of Indian Affairs to request transfer of fee simple title to the United States of America in trust for the Citizen Potawatomi Nation. And whereas the legislature believes that increasing the tribal land base furthers the pursuit of tribal self-determination and allows future generations of tribal leaders to have the flexibility to use the land for the health, welfare, and sovereignty of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation. And whereas Section 5 of the Indian Reorganization Act of June 18, 1934 provides authority for the fee to trust acquisition, and whereas the property is on reservation or within the former reservation boundaries of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation, legally described in Attachment A and listed in the Potawatomi County Treasurer's records as parcel ID number 0000-30-010-004-0-041-000, Church of God Evening Light Saints Tract, ID number 0000-30-010-004-0-038-00, Church of God Tract, and number 0000-30-010-004-0-042-00, trustees of Church of God Tract. And whereas the property was purchased with tribal funds for non-gaming use, and the land to which the Citizen Potawatomi Nation owns the service rights in fee simple is not currently under lease, and whereas there are improvements with ingress and egress for adequate traffic services, and whereas the current and proposed land use is housing and tribal self-determination, increasing tribal land base, which furthers this pursuit of tribal self-determination and allows future generations of tribal leaders to have the flexibility to use the land for health, welfare, and sovereignty of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation. And whereas the Citizen Potawatomi Nation agrees to indemnify and hold harmless the United States, its agents, and employees against any lawsuits, loss, expense, and claim potentially filed against the tribe for any damages relating to asbestos and lead-based paint, if any, associated with the improvements located on the property described in Attachment A. Now therefore be it resolved by the legislature of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation that a resolution supporting the fee to trust acquisition application to the Southern Plains Regional Office of the Bureau of Indian Affairs and trust acquisition of the Church of God property is hereby approved.
Are there any additions, deletions, corrections, or discussion?
I've got a question, Chairman. On this, I know where the Church of God is. On the graph or the picture, what is the building all the way to the right? In the,
Those are the apartments.
It's a fourplex of a,
so it's included in the property?
yes.
Okay.
There's 3 apartments. One of them is 3 bedrooms. And one of them is 2 bedrooms, and there's one bedroom.
I've driven down that road and I know you have. I have never noticed that. That's right in front of the steel place. Okay.
This is a
No,
great,
no, it's,
No, you're right.
no, it's.
I have not driven there.
this is a great property for us to have.
Okay.
because It's right here, contiguous to our land at headquarters.
I've got the,
We're walking it across Hardesty from here.
I've got it. Thank you.
Any other further discussion? Chair would entertain a motion to approve the resolution as read. Motion made by Representative Eva Marie Carney. Is there a second? Seconded by Representative Paul Wesselhoff. Roll call, please.
Chairman Barrett,
Gay.
Vice Chairman Capps,
Koenig,
Secretary Treasurer Trousdale, Koenig, Representative David Barrett,
Okay.
Representative Wesselhoff,
Koenig.
Representative Kraft,
Koenig,
Representative Smiddlecoffer,
Gay.
Representative Bowden,
Honegay.
Representative Eva Marie Carney,
Honegay.
Representative Whistler,
Honegay.
Representative Bersall,
Honegay.
Representative Lambert,
Honegay.
Representative Payne,
Honegay.
Representative Johnson, Representative Dave Carney,
Honegay.
15 in favor, 0 opposed.
15 in favor, 0 opposed. It is approved. Next is 2111 NR. You can read that into the record, please.
Resolution 21-11-NR, a resolution approving the reappointment in terms of office for Scott George and John F. Barrett as members of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation Floodplain Management Board. First 3 whereas are the same as read in the previous resolution. A 4th whereas, Resolution 01-40 adopted on October 25th, 2000, established the Citizen Potawatomi Nation Floodplain Board, appointed members and designated duties. And whereas Resolution 01-40 further states that members of the Floodplain Management Board shall serve without compensation, and members of the Floodplain Management Board may be removed for cause only after a public hearing for that purpose. And whereas Resolution 13-13-NR, adopted on August 30, 2012, increased the number of Floodplain Management Board members to 7 and provided for staggered terms of office to more effectively monitor the floodplain and preserve the institutional memory of the CPN Floodplain Management Board. Whereas Scott George and John F. Barrett are currently serving terms that expire October 1st, 2020. Now therefore be it resolved by the legislature of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation that a resolution reappointing Scott George and John F. Barrett as Floodplain Management Board members whose terms shall then expire on October 1st, 2024 is hereby approved.
Are there any additions, deletions, corrections, or discussion? Ms. Kraft?
We have nepotism laws that prohibit you from appointing your son to a board
No, we
to
don't.
sit on.
No, we don't.
We don't have nepotism laws.
We don't have a nepotism that forbids him serving as an unpaid member of the floodplain board.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other snide remarks? I would entertain a motion to approve the resolution as read. Is there a second?
second.
Second by Linda Capps. All in favor, please answer the roll call.
Chairman Barrett,
Koenig.
Vice Chairman Capps,
Koenig,
Secretary Treasurer Trousdale, Koenig, Representative David Barrett,
Donahue.
Representative Wesselhoff,
Koenigsegg.
Representative Kraft,
Joe,
Representative Smittelhofer,
Koenigsegg.
Representative Bowden,
Koenigsegg.
Representative Eva Marie Carney,
Koenigsegg.
Representative Whistler,
Koenigsegg.
Representative Bersall,
Koenigsegg.
Representative Lambert,
Koenigsegg.
Representative Payne,
Koenigsegg.
Representative Johnson, Representative Dave Carney,
Koenigsegg.
14 in favor, 1 opposed.
14 in favor, 1 opposed. It is approved. Next is 2112 NR. If you could read that into the record, please.
Resolution 21-12-NR, a resolution supporting the addition of new routes to the nation's existing National Tribal Transportation Field Inventory, NTTFI, and requesting the Bureau of Indian Affairs add these new routes to the National Tribal Transportation Field Inventory of the Sisseton Potawatomi Nation. First, or 3 whereas, are the same as read in the previous resolution. The 4th whereas, the Sisseton Potawatomi Nation has existing routes on its National Tribal Transportation Field Inventory. And whereas new routes, including sidewalks and walking paths as itemized in Attachment A, have been identified within the nation's jurisdiction and are eligible for inclusion on the nation's road inventory. And whereas the criteria used to select and evaluate these proposed roads, parking lots, sidewalks, and pathways include 1, connects active centers of population, 2, contributes to industrial activities, 3, contributes to economic development, 4, provides access to jobs, 5, contributes to law and order, 6, removes isolation, 7, provides access to education and cultural activities, 8, provides access to hospital facilities, 9, contributes to accident prevention, and 10, provides emergency services. And whereas all the proposed routes provide access leading to places of employment, health facilities, education, training, etc. Now therefore be it resolved by the legislature of the Sisseton Potawatomi Nation that a resolution supporting the addition of these new routes as identified in Attachment A, updating the nation's existing roads inventory field data system, and requesting the Bureau of Indian Affairs to add all of the requested new routes to the Sisseton Potawatomi Nation's National Tribal Transportation Field Inventory is hereby approved.
Any additions, deletions, corrections, or discussion? Chair would entertain a motion to approve the resolution as read. Motion made by Representative Bersall, seconded by Representative Lambert. Roll call, please.
Chairman Barrett,
Koenigsegg.
Vice Chairman Capps,
Koenigsegg.
Secretary Treasurer Trousdale Koenigsegg, Representative David Barrett,
Koenigsegg.
Representative Westphal,
Koenigsegg.
Representative Kraft,
Koenigsegg,
Representative Smittelhofer,
Koenigsegg.
Representative Bowden,
Koenigsegg.
Representative Eva Marie Carney,
Koenigsegg.
Representative Whistler,
Koenigsegg.
Representative Bersall,
Koenigsegg.
Representative Lambert,
Koenigsegg.
Representative Payne,
Koenigsegg.
Representative Johnson, Representative Dave Carney,
Koenigsegg.
15 in favor, 0 opposed.
15 in favor, 0 opposed. It is approved. Next is Resolution 2113 NR. If you could read that into the record, please.
Resolution 21-13-NR, a resolution adopting the Sisseton Potawatomi Nation's updated Tribal Transportation Program Transportation Improvements Plan, TTP-TIP, and approving submittal of the plan to the Federal Highway Administration, FHWA. First 3 whereas, the same as read in previous resolution. The 4th whereas, the Sisseton Potawatomi Nation has an existing direct implementation agreement with the Federal Highway Administration to plan for transportation improvements within the nation's jurisdiction as afforded under the Tribal Transportation Program. And whereas funding for the Transportation Improvement Plan is estimated to be $26,707,265 for fiscal year 2021 through fiscal year 2025. And whereas the chairman has reviewed and prioritized the updated combined fiscal year 2021 through fiscal year 2025 Transportation Improvement Plan, which must be submitted to the Federal Highway Administration. And whereas this Transportation Improvement Plan will be amended by resolution if necessary when new tribal transportation program projects are identified and or priorities change. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the legislature of the Assistant Valley Nation that a resolution accepting the updated combined fiscal year 2021 through 2025 Tribal Transportation Program Transportation Improvement Plan and authorizing its continued inclusion in the agreement with FHWA is hereby approved. Now, therefore, be it further resolved that by act of this resolution and consistent with the separation of powers defined in the Constitution, an appropriation of approximately $26,707,265,000 from the Federal Highway Administration account or other applicable accounts for the implementation, negotiation, operation, enforcement, procurement, settlement, and/or completion of this contract, compact, regulation, or agreement by the tribal chairman or his designate hereby authorized.
Are there any additions, deletions, corrections, or discussion? Chair would entertain a motion to approve the resolution as read. Motion made by Representative Whistler. Is there a second?
Second.
Representative Middlekaufer. Roll call, please.
Chairman Barrett.
Koenig.
Vice Chairman Capps.
Konigay.
Secretary Treasurer Trouza Koenig. Representative David Barrett.
Konigay.
Representative Wesselhoff.
Konigay.
Representative Kraft.
Konigay.
Representative Middlekaufer.
Koenig.
Representative Bowden.
Honegay.
Representative Eva Marie Carney.
Honegay.
Representative Whistler.
Honegay. Honegay.
Representative Bersall.
Honegay.
Representative Lambert.
Honegay.
Representative Payne.
Honegay.
Representative Johnson. Representative Dave Carney.
Honegay.
15 in favor, 0 opposed.
15 in favor, 0 opposed. It is approved. Next is Resolution 2114 HHS. You read that into the record, please.
Resolution 21-14-HHS, a resolution approving the System Following Nation's application for funding under the fiscal year 2021 Lower Income Home and Energy Assistance Program, LIHEAP. First three whereas are the same as read in previous resolution. The fourth whereas, the System Following Nation Public Law 102-477 program, Workforce and Social Services, assist eligible low-income clients with home energy costs by paying utility companies directly for energy consumption. And whereas if funded, the System Following Nation will receive an estimated $220,000 in LIHEAP funds to deliver such assistance. And now therefore be it resolved by the legislature of the System Following Nation that a resolution authorizing the System Following Nation's application for funding under fiscal year 2021 Lower Income Home and Energy Assistance Program is hereby approved. Now therefore be it further resolved that by act of this resolution and consistent with the separation of powers defined in the Constitution, if awarded, an appropriation of federal funds up to $220,000 from the fiscal year 21 LIHEAP fund or other applicable account for the implementation, negotiation, operation, enforcement, procurement, settlement, and/or completion of this contract, compact, regulation, or agreement with a tribal chairman or his designate is hereby authorized.
Are there any additions? Eva Marie Carney?
Yes, thank you, Chairman. I had a question about potential distribution of these funds. I cannot recall, but believe that this is limited to a number of counties in Oklahoma. Am I correct?
It is limited to our county, and it touches the whole jurisdiction, goes into Seminole County, goes into Cleveland County, touches into Oklahoma County. So she has some surroundings, but most of it is Potawatomi areas.
I think we're allowed to go 6 miles into Oklahoma County and Cleveland County. And I believe in the Seminole County area, we're allowed to go a little further into Seminole County, but the balance of it is Potawatomi County.
Now, every state has LIHEAP program. So I would tell your constituents, if they don't have access, or if they don't know of access to LIHEAP, they need to contact their closest town or city and see if they have the LIHEAP program. It is a program that people are eligible for once a season. eligible for one time in the wintertime and one time for the heating and one time for the cooling, you might say. So you're eligible, or ours is eligible twice a year. Now, some of you will remember that less than 5 years ago, we just had $20,000 in this program, and it didn't go very far. But due to Margaret Zentek's negotiation with the state, now we have to negotiate one of our few programs that we negotiate with the state on for these funds instead of the federal government. It trickles down, the federal money goes to the states and then goes to different programs. So we negotiated for this and got this much funds, which was just unheard of. So there's an educational portion of this. There is a repair portion of this. But basically it's for services for utilities. So
Thank you. That's very helpful. I appreciate it.
Eva, I sent that out with my, for my Health and Human Resources Board. So my committee got that information.
Okay.
This is
Thank you.
the same program that Representative Patrick Kennedy, I believe, started Citizens Energy in Boston and set up a heating oil trading company with City of Boston's LIHEAP monies and turned it into an extremely successful trading company that supplies low-cost heating oil in Boston to lower income people. Oklahoma has been shortchanged on this for quite some time, and the money that flows to us has been shortchanged even further because the state gets to handle it first. Any other questions or discussion? Chair would entertain a motion to approve the resolution as read.
I'll make that.
Motion made by Representative David Barrett, second by Representative Paul Wesselhoff. Roll call, please.
Chairman Barrett,
Koenig,
Vice Chairman Capps,
Carnegie,
Secretary Treasurer Trousdale, Koenig, Representative David Barrett,
Conagay.
Representative Wesselhoff,
Hoonigan.
Representative Kraft,
Okay.
Representative Spindlecoffer,
Want to go?
Representative Bowden,
Honegay.
Representative Eva Marie Carney,
Honegay.
Representative Whistler,
Want to go?
Representative Bersall,
Want to go?
Representative Lambert,
Honegay.
Representative Payne,
Carnegie.
Representative Mark Johnson, Representative Dave Carney,
Honegay.
15 in favor, 0 opposed.
15 in favor, 0 opposed. It is approved. Next is Resolution 2115. ED, if you could read that into the record, please.
Resolution 21-15-ED, a resolution pursuant to Public Law 102-477 regarding consolidation of employment, training, and educational services. First three, whereas, the same as read in previous resolution. A fourth, whereas, the Citizen Potawatomi Nation administers Department of Health and Human Services Child Care Development Block Grant and Community Services Block Grant, DOJ Reentry and Youth Grants, Bureau of Indian Affairs, Adult Vocational Training, Employment Assistance, Higher Education, Adult Education, General Assistance, Child Assistance, Assistance with Care of Custodial Adults, Burial Assistance, Emergency Assistance, and Johnson O'Malley programs, as well as the Department of Labor Workforce Investment Act. And whereas Congress has enacted Public Law 102-477, which allows tribes to voluntarily consolidate various employment training related programs, and whereas Public Law 102-477 permits the consolidation of funding received for these programs and allows greater flexibilities in development, coordination, and operation of said programs. And whereas funding for the 477 program is formula driven and appropriated annually by the federal agencies, DOL, BIA, DOJ, and DHHS, and is estimated based on fiscal year 2020 actual funding to be approximately $13,650,000. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the legislature of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation that a resolution authorizing consolidation of Public Law 102-477 employment, training, education, and related programs and administration of these programs in accordance with the nation's 102-477 plan is hereby approved. Now therefore be it further resolved, by act of this resolution and consistent with the separation of powers defined in the Constitution, if awarded, an appropriation of federal funds up to $13,650,000 from the 477 fund or other applicable accounts for the implementation, negotiation, operation, enforcement, procurement, settlement, and/or completion of this contract, compact, regulation, or agreement by the tribal chairman or his designate is hereby authorized.
Is there any additions, discussions, corrections?
I've got a question. How was this compared to last year? Have they increased or decreased? 13,650,000?
I believe that's a decrease, isn't it?
I am sorry, I'm not
I
sure.
didn't realize it was that much, but I mean,
It's
Yeah,
it's a lot. It's not,
but you don't know if it's increased or,
it has been increased.
yeah, it has been increased.
Increased over the last couple of years.
I knew that, that is a lot of money.
Any other discussion? Representative Carney, Eva Marie Carney? Muted. You're
Deck. Thank you. I just wanted to comment on the breadth of that whereas in terms of the number of different programs that are now under 477 and how much work has been done by the nation to make this happen. So this is truly a self-government exercise to put all of these funding sources in our hands, consolidated so that we can decide how the money is going to be used. So I know that Margaret Zintek was very, very active on this and continues to be. And I just wanted to comment on how functional this is and how terrific.
It's really been a great thing, 477 has. Any other discussion? Chair would entertain a motion to approve the resolution as read. Motion made by Representative Eva Marie Carney, seconded by Representative Jean Lambert. Roll call, please.
Chairman Barrett,
Honegay?
Vice Chairman Capps,
Carnegie,
Secretary Treasurer Trousdale, Koenig, Representative David Barrett,
Okay.
Representative Wesselhoff,
20 guy.
Representative Kraft,
Honegger.
Representative Spittelkofer,
Honegay.
Representative Bowden,
Honegger.
Representative Eva Marie Carney,
Conagay.
Representative Whistler,
Okay.
Representative Bersall,
Okay.
Representative Lambert,
Carnegie,
Representative Payne,
Conagay.
Representative Johnson, Representative Dave Carney,
Okay.
15 in favor, 0 opposed.
15 in favor, 0 opposed. It is approved. Next is 2116 LCOE on enrollment. If you could read that into the record, please, Secretary Treasurer Trousdale.
Resolution 21-16-LCOE, a resolution of enrollment into the membership of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation. First three whereas, same as read in previous resolution. Fourth whereas, the following people have requested enrollment in the tribe and meet the requirements for membership as set forth in Article 3 of the Constitution of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation. Mackenzie Beth Sims, Caitlin Renee Pearl, Laurie Adele Weaver, Nova Grace Morse, George Rudolph Hirsch IV, Catherine Elizabeth Keller, Carissa Elise Brady, Landon Jean Brady, Brindley Annabelle Bishop, Seth Andrew Sack, Jerry Dean Sack, Kaylin Marie Sack, Bryce Alexander McClinton, Dawson Evan McClinton, Riley Renee Tripp, Cragen Ann Behrens, Madison Grace Tyndall Greenshaw, Mason Alexander Tyndall Greenshaw, Charlie Rose Greenshaw, Reva Faye Catherine Porum, Jackson Henry Davis, Stetson Mark Smith, Harley Joanne Smith, Anthony Peter Antonello, Cynthia Kayan Smith, Gunnar Wallace Glover, Knox Mitchell Glover, Macy Raylan Henry, Melody Faith Henry, Cadian Warren Kent, Mackenzie Nicole Rios, Kendall Lee Rios, Leah Silva, Cruz Wesley Christensen, Ada Elise Glass, John Wyatt Glass, Ayana Lilia Sprague, Araya Kalina Azalea Sprague, William Perry Cook II, Grayson Anthony Cook, Finley Nicole Cook, Callan Theodore Cook, Bryson Deandra Casillas, Bristol Jean Jackson, Lanaya Gail Moon, Cameron Walter Reed Whittick, Gavin Anthony Russell, Mia Gail Louise Russell, Walker Robert Russell, Easton Allen Smith, Gregory Dwayne Franklin, Paul Joseph Lambert, Catherine Jean Dolata, Hayden Michael Luce, Easton Ray Luce, Emmett Alexander Luce, Jolie K. Gaddy, Barrett Wayne Jones, Harper Sue Jones, Noah James Snyder, Logan Reese Snyder, Roy Dean Richardson III, Cooper Joseph Cox, Gavin Wayne Baker, Grayson Lee Baker, Hudson David Bacon, Carson Reagan Bacon, Vanessa Kristen Vicino, Kaylee Marie Vicino, Aiden Michael Vicino, Chloe Ryan Bedord, Isabel Maria Campbell, Trenton Calvin McElhaney, Savannah Avani Taylor, Tinley Nicole Heidemann, Bentley Michael Heidemann, Bennett Lee Heidemann, Jackson Ross Chapman, Tyler William Chapman, J.C. Renee Chapman, Cameron Vicente Cruz, Vicente Cruz Jr., Dominic Zane Alvarado, Aiden Kincaid Storm, Halsey Abigail Storm, Ella Grace Colby, Joseph Owen Wilson, Hunter Scott Clapp, Taylor Allison Sletton, Imrael Marley Alejandro Ojeda, Harper Grace Silas, Corey Lynn Purcell, Eli Lee Sturgeon, Justin James Gwynn, Mason Brian Hopkins, Judge Sawyer LeClaire, Michael Nicholas Deppel, Dominic Francesco Lopez, Manuel Sterling Lopez, Bella Rose Aria Storts Lopez, Gemma Eileen Kitchler, Truman J. Kitchler, Eric Levon Sager, Emma Elizabeth Case, Andrew Isaac Shipshiwano, Avon Takato Shipshiwano, Carter James Shipshiwano, Isaac Ray Shipshiwano, Braden Tyler McIntyre, Israel Beatrice Owens II, Dallas Josiah Owens, Marcus Spencer Owens, Reed Taylor Fuller, Vivian Armicia May Williams, Braxton Jeffrey Lee Black, Oliver Thomas Ferris, Dalen Anthony Bobette, Dalton David Rod, Trenton David Rod, Cadence Grace Barita, Carrie's Faith Barita, John William Poe, Madison Marie Cheatwood, Morgan Nicole Cheatwood, Brenton Dwayne Baxter, Piper Faith Kime, Vicki Janae Thorpe, Lyric Lee Kuhneman, Natalie Hope Dickerson, Elena Grace Dickerson, Rhett Warner Dickerson, Briggs Davis Tofson, Jack Houston Tofson, Kristen Thorne Kendrick, Caden Ivan Richardson, Lucinda Shaw Lyle, Mackenzie Catherine Collins, Meredith Isabella Zyricki, Mia Ann Wiles, Georgia Grace Schooley, Micah Giovanni Valentino Romero, Andrew Kyle Little, Kyle Lewis Trousdale, Lexus Dawn Romines, Rhea Renee Colin Harmon, Gina Lynn Rose Harmon, Lona Hope Faith Harmon, Anthony Lee Delanio Ozuna, Ayana Kalani Pai Ozuna, Athan Benjamin James Ozuna, Axton Chris James Ozuna, Braxton Elias Parr Odell Navaya Sue Aline, Hardell Odell, Brenlin Marie Parr Odell, Brighton Vera Mitchell, Malaya K. Mitchell, Madison Nicole Rail, Jackson Michael Rail, Now therefore be it resolved by the legislature of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation that a resolution enrolling the above named persons as members of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation who have, by virtue of the written request for enrollment, agreed to the obligation of such membership and consented to the authority and jurisdiction of the government of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation, and are now entitled to all benefits and privileges of the citizenship in the Citizen Potawatomi Nation as described by law and tribal custom, is hereby approved.
Are there any additions, deletions, corrections, or discussion? Chair would entertain a motion to approve the resolution as read. Motion made by Representative Dave Carney, seconded by Representative Bob Whistler. Roll call, please.
Chairman Barrett,
Honegger.
Vice Chairman Capps,
Honegger.
Secretary Treasurer Trousdale, Koenig, Representative David Barrett,
Donegay.
Representative Wesselhoff,
Honegger.
Representative Kraft,
Okay.
Representative Schmidlkoffer,
Honegger.
Representative Bowden,
Honegay.
Representative Eva Marie Carney,
Honegay.
Representative Whistler,
Honegay.
Representative Bursaw,
Honegay.
Representative Lambert,
Honegger.
Representative Payne,
Honegay.
Representative Johnson,
Okay.
Representative Dave Carney,
Honegay.
15 in favor, 0 opposed.
15 in favor, 0 opposed. It is approved. George, do you have a presentation on this one?
There's stuff I do, I just didn't know where it was all in.
Or the, on the budget or the COVID?
Oh, yes.
Oh, never mind, different deal. Resolution 2117, appropriations. If you could read that into the record, please. Secretary Treasurer Trousdale.
Resolution 21-17-APP, a resolution approving the operating budgets of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation for fiscal year 2021. First three whereas are the same as read in the previous resolution. The fourth whereas, the legislature has provided copies of the budget containing every program budget funded by the Department of Interior, Bureau of Indian Affairs fiscal year 2021, annual funding agreement, including Department of Labor, Public Law 102-477, and Department of Health and Human Services Child Care Funds, indirect costs, Department of Health and Human Services Indian Health Services fiscal year 2021, annual funding agreement, federal grants and contracts, and tribal programs. Whereas the legislature recognizes that budgets are provided, whereas the legislature recognizes that budgets provided are intended as management and planning tools for each program and service provided by the Citizen Potawatomi Nation. And whereas the legislature accepts that the budget's line items may or may not be changed over the next 12 months to better fit the needs of the program or service, but that the total budgets will not be changed significantly. Now therefore be it resolved by the legislature of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation that a resolution approving the Citizen Potawatomi Nation's operating budgets for fiscal year 2021 as presented is hereby approved. Now therefore be it further resolved that by act of this resolution and consistent with the separation of powers defined in the Constitution, an appropriation of $465,808,370,000 from the Department of Interior, Bureau of Indian Affairs fiscal year 2021 annual funding agreement, including Department of Labor, Public Law 102-477, and Department of Health and Human Services Child Care Funds, indirect cost, Department of Health and Human Services Indian Health Service fiscal year 2021 annual funding agreement, federal grants and contracts, tribal programs, and enterprise funds for the implementation, negotiation, operation, enforcement, procurement, settlement, and or completion of this contract, compact, regulation, or agreement by the tribal chairman or his designate is hereby authorized.
Are there any additions, deletions, corrections, or discussion?
I've got some questions. I don't know, Dave Carney, excuse me for mentioning your name, but he had in an email asked for an executive summary.
And he did, and that is my fault that I haven't gotten that.
Okay.
This summer.
Okay, so it wasn't sent out, because I didn't get that. Okay. The other thing is the financial statement. I didn't get any financial statements from prior months at all from 6 months ago. And I know, Jamie, I'm not putting you on the spot. You just told me that it didn't go out, so, it would be nice to have compared, what the year-to-date actual was. What is the year-to-date actual that we're using for the budget? May, June? Wayne?
Yeah, we've got the June, but, and I don't know why you didn't get the numbers, but I'll say this, they would do no one any good.
Well, no, I understand that, because back then, this is a budget now, but the executive summary would have really told how you guys did in prior to budget, prior to COVID, and then after COVID. I mean, that's all, that's all I just have a hard time.
Well, I can appreciate that an executive summary, with all due respect, Dave Carney, the executive summary, it sounds good. It sounds very helpful. It would take days to write an executive summary to cover everything that needed to be covered. It would just be an impossible task. There are just too many individual budgets and too many numbers to draw, and you have to go through the process honestly. And I know that's not the best answer, but I'm just telling you the facts of it.
Yeah, I think what I'm looking for is is high level. And I think that we all kind of ask our questions and kind of get there, but it would be nice in the future if we had the broad executive summary, where we're at, where we're planning on going, and kind of what the executive branch is seeing the challenges. And of course, there's unique challenges now, but I mean, generically, what the future year would be looking like. That would be helpful for me.
And that makes a lot of sense. And I think that's something that we could certainly give the 30,000 foot level.
Exactly.
It's just not consistent with the questions that we get. So, maybe we can do that and then field the questions that we get too.
I think that might stop a lot of not stop, but, mitigate some of the questions.
For sure. Well, we want to be transparent.
Sure.
Representative Westler.
Yes, I have a couple of questions. In the general account, we have an expense for a columbarium. Where do we plan on erecting that?
The property that we've cleared and are currently putting drainage on, that is on, it's Dr. Combs Drive. If you were to go due west from the golf course driveway over to the behind the hospital, south of the hospital, it's that piece of land that we acquired south of Dr. Combs Drive at the corner of Range Line and Dr. Combs Drive that runs behind the hospital.
Okay.
It'll be sitting in the northeast corner of that lot.
That's fine, Chairman. I had two other questions. Last year, meaning 2020, we had planned on the elimination of the hostesses to move some water service and so forth. I see we're budgeting $1 million out of COVID funds. Did the fact that we had the long period of no employment and so forth and loss of income, is that what prevented us from accomplishing that in 2020? It was in the budget we approved last year.
Would you repeat again what it was that?
Last year we approved in the budget the creating of the water service for the patrons in the we wanted to eliminate hostesses, and in the buffet section we were going to install the water service. I see we're doing it again this year. What prevented us from doing it in 2020?
And the water noise. I'm sorry. The water service where, Bob?
In the buffet.
It's in the casino hotel resort. It's in,
the moving the buffet.
Yeah, you're shifting stuff around, but I thought we had planned on doing that in 2020.
We had planned on doing that in 2020, but then we took a $20 million reduction in revenue because of COVID. And we decided not to spend that money out there yet.
Okay, I have one final question, and it's an aberration to me. In the administrative area, under public relations, the total indirect expenses are 4 times what the payroll expense is. I'm not saying it's not justified, but in almost every other line, the indirect expenses normally are 1/3 of the direct expense. Why is there a difference in this one area?
Underpaid. It was indirect is so much larger than direct payroll. It clearly has to be because we're underpaid.
Right, it is, in all the others, it's substantially, it's just so substantially different. I was curious why.
I don't know, clear board.
I don't know. I don't know that detail off the top of my head.
Which budget are you looking at, Bob?
I'm looking at the entire admin cost pool. And it says for the budget year ending September 30. And then when you go down on that page, you get to public relations and it shows $1,250,500 for indirect expenses. I'm not saying that it's not justified. I'm just curious why that one is so much higher relative to the association and the other lines on that page. Like if you look at mechanical, it's basically 1/3 of what the payroll expense is. If you look at housekeeping, it's about the same thing.
I'll just say that we do have to spend a lot of money in public relations because that's our face. And we do, that includes the HoundyCon and sending it out and a whole array of things.
That's also advertising, lobbying at the legislature.
We do a lot, spend a lot of money there.
Okay, I understand now. Whereas with the others, we're talking about the Social Security costs and so on and so forth. I wasn't expecting, or I'm sorry, I didn't relate to the fact that you had costs for advertising and so forth. That explains it. That's the end of my questions. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied.
Already announced on Facebook you're voting no. Why do you want to ask questions?
You're not.
Any other questions? No, go ahead. Yes, Miss. Yes,
Oh,
Miss.
I'm
Carney.
sorry that the transmission was off. I didn't know what was happening. I was happy to see that we are continuing to commit to paying for scholarships to the tune of over $7 million. I would like to have a bit of an overview in light of what was just said about loss of income in our casinos. I don't know how much we've truly lost in terms of, say, operation of our grocery stores, et cetera, but where, without giving away the state secrets while we're here online, where we think we are going in the coming year, given the unknowns, the COVID-19 unknowns, et cetera. If you can speak to that, given the fact that we have a lot of people that will be listening to this broadcast.
We are hoping that we don't have another complete shutdown. It was the complete shutdown that did us the most harm. There was, of course, a period of time there where, we had a reduction of crowds of people not going in, but that period of time when we were down completely was where we really suffered the revenue loss.
And I will just say that some of the government programs came to our rescue legally because they couldn't do it illegally. 477 was one of those programs. We had help from the health services in that they paid all of our Native Americans insurance. And they plan to do that in the coming year. So we had a lot of help from the COVID funds. and from some of the government programs, or we wouldn't have been able to make it. And I'm quite frightened what's going to happen to us after January 1st. I know we have the budget before us. Some of those are just projections. You know, a budget is a working tool. And I just hope that our budget comes out like we expect it to. So our Grand Casino has done well in the last couple of weeks. Couple of weeks before that, it did awful. So we're just going to have to wait and see how things turn out. And as you can tell from our budget, I always use that cash flow sheet for my guideline, and that's from the enterprises. That gives us an idea of how much money our enterprises pays in to the tribe. And we need that tax money. We need that administrative cost pool in order to operate. And I think we don't realize that until something happens like it did this summer. So, you know, the COVID money paid a lot of, you cannot use the COVID money for lost revenue, but you can use the COVID money for wages and for things like benefits. But there's a lot of limitations on the COVID funds as to what you can use it for. But if it hadn't been for the COVID funds and some of the government programs, we wouldn't have made it this summer, or we would have made it very poorly. So we'll just have to see next year. Maybe Dwayne and the chairman aren't as apprehensive as I am.
No, Dwayne is. Your earlier question, Eva, and why that cash flow looked different to you.
Yeah.
You've never seen it that way before. And the reason you've never seen it that way, and I'm not trying to scare anybody, I just want to be factual.
Mhm.
Gaming is budgeted to lose money. Okay?
For the first time ever is what you're saying.
For the first time ever. And I cannot be persuaded to budget anything but that. And that's why that cash flow doesn't really make sense when you look at gaming. And so when we talk about funding scholarships, we are tapping reserves.
That's right.
So everyone in the legislature needs to understand how tenuous the situation is. And we have no idea when it's going to stop. Because, yeah, the vice chairman's correct. The CARES money has enabled us to do a few things that were just almost necessary. We just had to have it. But it will not fill the hole. We cannot use the money for things that we cannot use the money. Mm-hmm. And the nation is treated just like any individual member. So this was the toughest budget, and we've all got our fingers crossed that that the environment changes soon.
I have one follow-up, which was, you know, sitting here from very far away, I saw that the Red Earth Festival was hosted. We hosted the Red Earth Festival, which seemed to be an in-person festival at the arena. Am I right? And that was interesting to me in terms of taking advantage of an opportunity. Just was interested in, you know, what the prospects are for that kind of thing going forward.
It was at the Grand.
At the Grand. Okay.
Right, and it was a pretty low attendance, and we were, of course, insistent on social distancing and masks and so on. Mm-hmm. And we think we managed that, not to make that a super spreader sort of an event, but there's a possibility we'll get that in the future. But it was considerably limited because of the low attendance.
Okay.
Was our second year to have it at the Grand.
Last 2 years?
Uh-huh. We had it last year.
And you think you might get it next year, year after that?
I hope so.
It's very small from what Red Earth used to be. Yeah, it used to be.
Yeah.
Not in Mexico
Very
now.
small.
Representative Lambert. Your microphone's off.
I'm curious as to the coronavirus numbers that are happening in Oklahoma right now. I've seen some statistics indicating that it may well be on a severe rise. Is that true?
That's true.
Number 4.
Number 4 in the country. Governor doesn't believe it.
Okay. And we're anticipating that that's going to affect us in the businesses in addition, correct? Or are we going to be handling that mostly with masks and distancing and so forth?
Well, it's bound to affect us some. We just don't really know to what degree. All we can do is just be careful and try not to spread it amongst ourselves. We had the unfortunate circumstance of having our first physician in the clinic come down with a positive test. So that's going to change things in the clinic for a while. We have had at any given time as many as 80 people on quarantine, sometimes more than that.
150.
Yeah, we had 150 on quarantine for a
Wow.
while.
Are that employees or?
It's employees, yes.
Okay.
And so we've been supporting a very large quarantine and a number of other things that have limited, made our operations more difficult and have limited our revenues.
Okay. But are you expecting a complete shutdown like they did before? Because we in Arizona, which you probably read about, I mean, we were in that red zone for a long time. And we haven't done really any closing other than of gyms, that kind of thing. And they've even opened that back up with regard to the distancing and the masks again, but we didn't shut down like we did the first time.
I have no idea what the governor's going to do or what the state's going to do.
Nobody can anticipate that or, what's going on with that. And there's such a controversy about what should be done or needs to be done anyway. So I know we have to follow protocol. So, okay, thank you.
You bet. Ms. Kraft?
Yes, thank you. The budget process at the tribe is a fantastic way to learn more about what's going on internally and what our resources are. Would any of you entertain forming a legislative committee that actually develops a budget? We can compare it to the executive branch and meet in the middle. Would any of you be supportive of that? Creating our own legislative budget, setting our own priorities, and coming in the middle to meet?
Apparently not.
None of you?
Lisa, how would we gather the information?
Well, as of an email, I'm not allowed to talk to tribal employees, but we would be part of the hearings. And when a director comes to talk to the internal budget committee, we would be privy to that. We would be able to interview directors, ask what their priorities are, ask what their funding levels are, what they're going after in grants. How can it reach people outside of Oklahoma? How can we do things differently? The LIHEAP program, yes, we may get a federal grant for LIHEAP, but that doesn't mean that we can't provide another program funded by the tribe to do the same thing. So
Okay.
we've been budgeting for a columbarium for 10 years, and if we want something built to ensure our tribal members, you think that we would get that built. That would be a priority.
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Kraft. Anything else?
Thank you for censoring me, Chairman. I'll appreciate that.
You censored yourself, Ms. Kraft.
No.
Anything else?
I'd say one of the challenges with the business enterprises is this middle ground that we're in. It would, in a lot of ways, it would be a lot easier and a lot cheaper if we were just closed in certain areas. But we have to staff, and then you don't know how many patrons are going to be there and things of that nature. That's one of the added challenges.
So no one wants to stay in a $500 million
Is
operation.
there a motion to adjourn?
No.
Approving the budget.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry, we have a COVID motion, a COVID presentation too.
We need to call a question on the budget.
All right, we need to call a question on the budget. Chair would entertain a motion to approve Resolution 2117 as presented. So moved. Motion made by Representative Spittelkofer. Is there a second? Representative Bob Whistler is the second. Roll call, please.
Chairman Barrett,
Koenig,
Vice Chairman Capps,
Koenig,
Secretary Treasurer Trousdale Koenig, Representative David Barrett,
Donaghy.
Representative Wessel Hoffman, Representative Kraft,
Cho,
Representative Spittelkofer,
Koenig,
Representative Bowden,
Koenig.
Representative Eva Marie Carney,
Koenig.
Representative Whistler,
Donaghy.
Representative Bersall, Representative Lambert,
Koenig,
Representative Payne,
Koenig.
Representative Johnson, Representative Dave Carney, 10 in favor, 1 opposed.
14 in favor, 1 opposed. It is approved. Next is the presentation on COVID,
phase 3.
on phase 3 of our COVID-19 or CARES Act program.
Before you start, George, did you get this on your computer before the meeting? Did anybody get this? It is the CARES Act district breakdown. You know, that's what yes. That shows you, you'll have that on your computer. It shows how much money has been spent in each district and how many applications have been approved in each district. That's one thing that you wanted. And so y'all will have that now. Some of you may not see it until tomorrow, but you have it on your computer.
Vice Chairman,
Yes,
this is very helpful.
yes.
And some of these questions have been asked on the Facebook groups.
Uh-huh,
So it's okay to publish this on
Sure.
the Facebook groups?
sure. But now this is gonna increase.
Yeah,
We're just in the middle of this.
all right. So this is as of today?
Golly, I would say as of this week.
Okay.
George?
No, I would
Chairman?
not say as of this week either.
Maybe last Friday. Linda, I think they cut those on Friday,
Yeah,
don't they?
but see, they don't cut it. I'd say 2 weeks ago at least, as of September 1st.
Vice Chairman Camps, what I've talked to you about on phase 1, should I go into executive session on that?
We need to go into executive session.
What about phase 1?
Chairman, it's what I can do about our tribal members, including legislators, taking part of
Okay.
phase 2 and phase 1. Just talk about that. Let's talk about that at
All right.
executive session.
Go into executive session.
So before we do the coverage,
You're the one that's asking for it. Do you want it now or later? Which way? Just say. Do you want it now or later?
well, he's already gone to cut it off.
All right, we have a motion made and seconded to adjourn. Motion made by Paul Spittelkofer. The second was by
Seconded.
Mark Johnson. And roll call, please.
Chairman Barrett,
Koenig,
Vice Chairman Capps,
Koenig,
Secretary Treasurer Trousdale Koenig, Representative David Barrett,
Okay.
Representative Wesselhoff,
Okay.
Representative Kraft,
I'm sorry, what are we voting on?
adjournment.
Yes, Koenig.
Representative Spittelkofer,
Koenig,
Representative Bowden,
Koenig.
Representative Eva Marie Carney,
Koenig.
Representative Whistler,
Donaghy.
Representative Bersall, Representative Lambert,
Koenig,
Representative Payne,
Koenig.
Representative Johnson, Representative Dave Carney,
Going again.
15 in favor, 0 opposed.
15 in favor, 0 opposed. We are adjourned, and Bob will get back with you on the schedule of those 30-day meetings.
Thank you.
Okay.